many boys ain't got no vices like that? No.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
We just had to let Pimp C bring us in real quick because why not? Rest in peace, Pimp motherfucking C. And I gotta say, I brought us in like that because Pimp C is one of the biggest inspirations to me as far as speaking up, spitting your fucking, spitting what you believe in and what you stand up for. And the way he did that was just unparalleled. Like the way that fucking gangster ass motherfuckers would describe like interacting with them, they'd be like, dude, he would just fucking cut you in half emotionally. And it hurt so much, but it was so real and it was so good for you. I'm just like, yo, like, that's fucking sick, dude. I like that. Like, I want to be able to speak so much truth and facts that it's positive, whether it hurts or not. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that I've been doing that a bit, and a lot of people don't want to hear it or aren't ready to hear it or however you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think ready is really a matter or not. I don't know. For some people it is and some it isn't. So this is episode 89. Welcome. For those of you unfamiliar, I'm your host, California Cal, and this is the show where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say,
damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude. You know what I'm saying? Shit to just give us a new perspective. We're here to help educate, entertain, and, really like, hopefully make an impact. You know what I'm saying? Provoke some thought, provoke some new conversations, provoke some possible new ways of viewing and getting through life a little bit easier. Yeah, I mean? So, if you're unfamiliar with who I am, I teach babies how to swim and save their lives. As young as 6 months old, I can teach kids to swim faster than anybody else, and I help adults overcome lifelong fears, and I run this motherfucking podcast. So, that's me. I'm a father. I fucking love to skate, surf, ride motorcycles, smoke weed, and do business. That's me. So, we got a really fucking dope episode today. And before we really jump in this, because we got some crazy shit, we're going to go into some questions. And this is, we're going to talk about living with gratitude because today's Thanksgiving in America. And it's interesting because we've got people who listen in other countries. And I want to take a moment to shout out like where our top listeners are at real quick. Especially because this will paint a picture for you, because I'm sure you guys have an idea of what you think how Americans interpret and celebrate Thanksgiving and what we do and all this. But I'm here to give you my perspective because I'm not that wacky out here. You know what I'm saying? I do things very unorthodox, and a lot of people don't do things the way I do. But a lot of people are like, well, how do you do that? So this is my take on a lot of this. So before we really jump into that and answer some questions about gratitude and how to heal, first, I want to give a shout out to the 562 Whittier, motherfucking California. What up to my motherfucking people in Whittier? You motherfucking walnuts. I guess you have to be from there to like get that shit. Like, I guess walnuts is what Whittier was like first famous for. They just grew hella walnuts. Some woman was like, yo, walnuts are fucking sick. She put hella in there and like they've been growing them. And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've passed through Whittier. I've stopped for gas, probably stopped for food a time or two. But I've never really, like, been to Whittier, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure I stopped and rolled a blunt at the gas station up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. But I don't know if I really actually, like, I'm trying to think, man. Like, who do I know in Whittier? Are you one of the homies that, like, shit, holler at me on Instagram, man, at Damn Dude Podcast. Because you guys been rocking with us tough, especially these last few episodes, and the listeners from Whittier actually beat out all the listeners from fucking, there's a sticker on the bottom of my chair, beat out our San Diego and LA listeners on our last episode. And that was surprising to me because I was like, yo, like, what up, Dago? Like, what's up? Like, we're getting beat. And no, that's cool because I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they do say, like, your hometown's the last to, like, fuck with you until other people start fucking with you, you know? So real quick, I realize I'm taking a long roundabout to get to a lot of this, but I don't know. I think if you've grown to listen to the show, you kind of enjoy that because all of a sudden you're like, man, this fool's on some crazy shit. And all of a sudden you're like, boom, Boom. Oh, that was crazy. So peep it. Shout out our top listeners, our top cities. Shout out to San Diego. Of course, I fucking love you, Dago, hometown. Shout out to the listeners in Atlanta. AT, yeah, shouty. Columbus, Ohio. That's where Busy Bones originally from. Shout out to my homies in Columbus. You already know I'm a huge motherfucking Bone Thugs fan. And that Versus is coming up. That falls on my birthday. I actually don't really like to celebrate my birthday. It's like, if you do the math, your birthday is not your actual birthday. Like, if we count all the leap years and all this shit, like, the day that you celebrate your birthday isn't the actual day if you went an exact amount of 365 days from the day you're born. The number's off. So that's just one thing, and I'm very logical, so anyway, yeah, I don't really enjoy it, and I don't know, it's whatever. Anyway, shout out to the homies in LA. I mean, Whittier's LA basically, but it is, but it's specifically Whittier, the same way how it's like Poway is in San Diego, but it's Poway's Poway, you know what I mean? So same sort of thing. And then shout out to the homies in FamBam in Prescott Valley, Arizona. So what's good? I appreciate you guys all listening and tuning in. And our top countries are the United States of America, France, Germany, UK, and the Virgin Islands of America. I appreciate you guys. You guys are fucking dope. Thank you. And without further ado, let's just fucking jump all the way the fuck in, because we're talking about living with gratitude. And this one was very specifically by request, and it happens to fit the holidays that a lot of people are celebrating here. I personally have chose to not celebrate Thanksgiving. It's like, I don't know, man. Since my son is my oldest son, Nate, is a Native American, and it just got me thinking and going back into his history and his ancestry. And I'm just like, man, that's always resonated super deep with me. And I just feel weird about it. I don't hate on anybody for celebrating it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do your thing by all means. I'm not here to fucking shit on anybody's fucking holiday or this or that. Like, do your damn thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, their job only permits them to do that at this time. And that's something I do have a big problem with. And that's kind of what bothers me about this. But we're going to get into this because, like I said, this comes from a place of gratitude, which this is really, we're going to kind of transform and morph this whole thing. Like, we're kind of working with a cube of putty right now, and you're going to see what this turns into. So I feel like when we do not live with gratitude, then we are just basically unhappy all year. So to me, the way that I think about this is most people are like, oh, fuck Monday, woohoo, it's Friday. And then other people, and then these same people, or a lot of people, oh my God, I get a vacation for 3 days or a week, wow. Or oh, I get a holiday off, oh my God. So if you're happy all year and complaining at least 5 days out of the week, or at least 4 days out of the week, that means you're pretty much unhappy. Statistically, you're unhappy. You know what I mean? That would, this, if you took 4 days of every week, let's say you're unhappy Monday through Thursday and you're excited about Friday because you checked out already. So let's just give you that. Most people are unhappy 5, 6, 7 days a week, but in the United States anyways. So let's say 4 days out of the week, you're unhappy at your job, and 2.5, you're stoked, but because Friday and Sunday kind of cancel each other, because you're at work, checked out on Friday, but then on Sunday you're free, but checked out that you have to go back to work on Monday. You see what I'm saying? So it's this fucked up cycle. So I think that for me, I'm like, how can I logically believe that this celebration is authentic happiness? Because if we're taking 1 to 5 days out of 365 days a year that they give us to celebrate and have this time off, they give us. We didn't choose it. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you, by me not celebrating Thanksgiving, I feel so motherfucking free. I'm going to go surfing. I'm going to go run. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to smoke some weed. I'm recording this episode. I'm going to read my book. I'm going to fucking surf. I might skateboard later. I might eat some fucking curry. I don't know. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. Like what I want to do might change later. And it feels good. But the thing is this is how my life feels almost every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have that option because that's what I chose to do. You know what I'm saying? To me, I feel very, very fortunate and grateful and blessed that I recognized, holy shit, it's way more important to but to pursue and grow and engage in happiness than it is to do that towards money. So for me, I put a lot of focus on, I realize I'm jacked up inside, and whatever job I go do, I'm going to be unhappy because I'm not like pulling the roots. I'm not going to the root source of this. So this is how I think about it, is like, okay, I've done this work to where I have the freedom of a holiday any day of the week if I so choose. Now, I've went a lot of fucking times where I'm sleeping in some fucked up places or eating some fucked up food or something, but not even really, because I've been doing good, but there's times where I pick struggles that I know if me and somebody else had to switch, they would freak the fuck out. I've learned how to be happy with nothing. And I think having nothing for so long and so often produced this sense of gratitude in me. So, like I said, this kind of takes we're molding, right? You're not going to, we're not going to all the way understand the sculpture till we're done here. So bear with me. So to me, when I see people, quote, happy on holidays, it's not real because I see the pain and the smile in this happy photo. I see the annoyance between the people. Like for me, I can see people's energies and emotions, and I can see people's pains and traumas and their generational baggage almost. That's one thing that I feel like I'm able to see in people, and I can usually dissect it pretty good for the most part. But my point is that that's cool. You're having a great time. I love that. Be appreciative. But the thing is we've got to be appreciative all year. Otherwise, this one day is just a facade. It's a show. It's going to the movies. You know what I mean? So keep in mind, I'm not shitting on your holidays. I'm really, really not trying to do that. Like I said, bear with me. This comes back around. So this is where I'm that I realize I start getting judgy because I'm like, dude, I did the work, and I'm I started off way further behind than you did. Way further. I was stealing food to eat for a while. You know what I mean? I was doing that. You got a lot of people just expected that hot food showed up automatically all the time. And it's that's not everybody's reality. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm hold on, dude. So, whoa, hold up. Damn, somebody gave me lunch. I got lunch today. We had money for lunch, this and that, whatever. Something worked out. Dope. So I'm feeling that appreciativeness. Okay, I realize I got to practice this every day. This isn't a 1 to 5 time thing a year. It's the way I see it is in the United States, we've become so disconnected that we're not grateful unless something very huge is just blasted into our face over and over. So I feel like it takes Americans anyway, death, weddings, baby being born, holidays, for us to stop and be oh, you know what? Man, life is short. This is precious. Blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, we're man, fuck Monday. Blah, blah, blah. Man, fuck such and such. Oh, Steve's a fucking dick at work. Oh, yeah, fucking Karen was talking mad shit. Yeah, fucking Jones' broccoli madness salad was trash. Or Joanne's. Steak Diane's medallions were fucking crooked. Dude. You know what I'm saying? That's how most people talk most of the year. When groups of friends meet up, just the average person in public, if you go over, listen, and you go over hear what they're talking about, they're complaining about stuff. And what's crazy is most of the time people are complaining about stuff and people who they spend the most time with. Like, how is that not a clear problem that you are in the wrong place? Like, how is that not a clear indicator? You know what I mean? Like, if a lot of people spend the most time talking shit about the people they spend the most time with, their boss, their husband, their wife, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their fucking people complain about their kids, which that blows my mind. I can't, that's hard for me to wrap my mind around, is complaining about your kids. But I get it though, you know, when you reach points of frustration and stuff. Yeah. But like when you're cool, like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's what bothers me about this whole thing, is like part of our culture is to do this fake little act. We show up to the fucking opera. Like, that's what we're doing. Like, we're putting on this performance. Now, I'm not saying there's not real love being shared and there's not real memories being made and there's not real bonding happening, you know, because everybody's different. This isn't like one size fits all. I'm generalizing because I observe this a lot. And I'm sure if you guys aren't already like checked out or resistant to what I'm saying, then you can see what I'm talking about. It's like, it's this whole commercial and we're all buying into it. You know what I mean? It's like, the way I see it is like Christmas is this fad and they've managed to like tell us it's cool every single year. It's like the same way tech decks come back every fucking like 8 to 10 years and they're cool every 8 to 10 years. Like, it's the same thing, but it's like, rather than it being 8 to 10 years, it's every year. So it just kills me. It's like, being grateful is not this thing you just wait to do after you've complained for 300 plus days. And then all of a sudden, all these holidays are packed close together. And we're like, oh, I'm so grateful. My family's so wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. Let's buy gifts because who said to buy gifts? And it's like, this is the thing, is like, I get that it's fun. And it's kind of like, the way I see it is like going to the arcade. Like, I'll likely buy my kids some stuff for Christmas because the fun of it, just the same way I see it, is going to the arcade. Like, it's not necessarily, like, it's, I don't know, it's about the entertainment, I guess. But this is like, I go back and forth because I'm like, I do buy my kids gifts randomly throughout the year, and I don't wait till Christmas. So I try and like emphasize that, look, every day is Christmas. And if we get you anything for Christmas, it's just like a cool bonus. And understand that this is a choice. You know, it's like, do you want to celebrate this year? And I asked that. I remember my parents asked me that when I was young and I was like, not really. And they were like, oh, fuck. Cool. And then I was like, we didn't buy a tree. We didn't whatever. And legit, we would, me and my brother started getting creative because we had like one of those total gym fitness things in our house, that Chuck Norris workout thing. The Carlos Norris workout thing. And I remember we found this like stick from outside and we were just like joking. And we put the stick like kind of standing inside the total gym thing. And then we like hung underwear and like random things from around the house, like a cat toy and like this and that. We just hung all this funny stuff from it. And we're like, hey, it's this year's Christmas tree. And like every person that walked into the room and saw it for the first time just started busting up laughing. Because like it was one of the years where we really weren't that poor and we could have afforded Christmas. So we were like, it was just funny, dude. And I don't know, that we legit didn't buy anything and we just kept putting funny stuff on the tree. And that was like as cool, if not cooler, than any other Christmas experience I ever had growing up, whether I got like a new bike or something really fucking cool, you know? Say, that's crazy. I didn't expect to talk about any of that. So, but it's relevant because it all ties into being grateful. And I think that when you create something that's unique to your family, that's really spectacular and something to be grateful. Like when you can create your own versions of things. I think that's really dope. But I think the thing also is like, well, why are you even celebrating? What's the root of this? Now, a lot of people look at this differently, and I get it. That's why I say I don't hate on anybody who celebrates it. Because you can look at it as like, look, the people who fought their ass off and took this country over is what gave us the country we live in today. And yeah, that's absolutely true. Now, at the same time, it's like, well, if your people were the people who got slaughtered during that, then you kind of feel a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I come from. It's like, okay, I get it. Conquest, conquering, this is basically how the world is built and whatever. But it's like, I don't know. There's just certain things that just don't resonate with me all the way. I'm grateful for the people who take the time to actually be grateful and spend a lot of time, money, patience, sharing their truths, things like that. So that leads me to this next thing. And I think this is where this episode is going to go really, really deep, because we got some really cool shit. We got some questions. And I really needed to paint this whole picture first, because it really makes these questions make a whole lot more sense and goes really deep. So I believe we need to practice being grateful. And it's like, well, how do we practice being grateful? Is by creating new experiences for ourselves. And when we just do what we're told to do, it's more frustrating. It provides more opportunities if we just do what we're told to do by society, it creates more frustrating situations than it does thankful situations.
Damn, dude.
Wow, that's pretty good. Because, dude, think about it. Like, if you just feel forced to do this, like baking cookies and cooking a fucking turkey, like, it's a pain in the ass. But it's like, if you're legit stoked and the people you're going to see are so fucking cool, and it's like, you guys show each other love all the time and this and that, it's like, dope. It's going to be an amazing time. And all of this ties into the next thing, which is like, well, are we really coming from a place of gratitude or not? Now, I've discovered and dissected a couple ways to analyze this and use this realistically and in real life in a way that really makes sense and can be applicable. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get into these questions here, because these questions go in. Yo, 1 second here. We'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
This world we living in, man, it ain't nothing but drama.
What up, everybody? Welcome, Bicycle.
Damn, dude.
This world is no other pebble, man, consider me stone.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back. That was a good pull. All right, so let's fucking get into these motherfucking questions. Dude, I need some music. Oh, bro, hold on. That would make the show way more exciting. When we get into fan fucking questions, we oh. Here we go. Okay. We'll just use this sound effect because it's what I got. All right, guys. So it's time we get into these motherfucking fan questions. Oh. Where did it go? What the? Sorry. Oh, I fucked it up. Okay. I'm being all loud. Sorry if you're like all in your headphones. So let's try this again. All right, guys. Welcome back. Let's get into these motherfucking fan questions. Oh, Dad, let's get into fan questions. Oh, Seth, Dad, like. All right, no, for real. So, first one. This shit goes so hard. I'm so fucking excited. So, okay. First question. How to live with gratitude when times get hard in life. If we know change is constant and inevitable, how to practice being grateful at low points. Let me read that again. So, how to live with gratitude when times get hard in life. If we know change is constant and inevitable, how do we practice being grateful at low points? So, boom.
Damn, dude.
That's a very fucking great question. I love this because this is something I've been personally doing for the past couple years. So, there's a couple things, and I didn't really think about these questions real quick, but when I wrote this down, I had to jot a couple notes because it just kind of crossed my mind, and I was like, I think this is good, and we'll kind of touch on it. So the first thing that this is not really in any order, but I would say how to keep gratitude alive when we know shit is hard and we know shit's gonna suck. What do we do? So I think one of the first things is self-awareness. So what does that mean though? Because self-awareness, we're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, but what does that actually mean? It's like, do better, be your best, live your best life. Like, okay, cool. Like, now what though? Like, how? Live, laugh, love. Okay, but what's funny? Like, who do I love? What do I love? Where do I live? So, self-awareness. To me, what self-awareness is, that includes having awareness of our body language, our facial expressions, our word choices, our daily activities, how much structure we have or don't have in place. Being aware of these things and then implementing and filling in because I always believe that I don't ever believe anything's wrong. I always look at things as what's missing. Like if something is not working, I don't go to what's wrong anymore. I go to what's missing because it creates a completely different context in my brain. It's the same thing as I do my best to use and instead of but. Because and is a creating word, but is an excuse word. So I think kind of that same thing is like when we have awareness of the things that we say and we do, then it creates a different reality. So this is where I think self-awareness is such a big thing because it exists in our thoughts, So here's another example. Okay. That's funny. I was just talking to somebody about this too. But like the way that we talk to ourselves matters. And what I mean by that is the way that we think to ourselves is what matters. So this all has to do with how to live with gratitude. Keep in mind. When I knock something over, in my head, I say, oh, you fucking dumbass, or oh, you fucking idiot. Like, that's what my inner thinking says. Now, I've stopped and I've changed it because sometimes it triggers and I can't help it. But then now what I do is when it happens, I stop and I say, no, you're not a dumbass. And now I try and use my own name. I realize it's hard for me to use my own name a lot of times when I'm trying to like talk good to myself. And I just feel cringy using my own name even in my thoughts. So I'm like, all right, Calvin, you are not a dumbass. You just knocked that over. And I'm like,
damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Oh, you're right. Like, because I knocked that over, it doesn't mean I'm stupid. That doesn't mean I'm dumb. That's not the same thing as when I got embarrassed in second grade for turning to the wrong page and the whole class laughed at me. It's not the same thing. That just went deep, right?
Damn, dude.
Did you guys just picture your own little like first, second, third grade, kindergarten self, fourth grade, the embarrassing moment, you know what I'm saying? Could have been up to junior high, high school for some of us, even later. Dude, for some of us even earlier. And you know what's crazy is it could be anything from being molested to being raped to being fucking abandoned to being abused to being neglected to being overly having like too much affection, too much babying, getting spoiled too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all the same thing is what's weird to me. It's like that's why and how I see when I have love all tattooed on my face, that's what I basically consider is like we're all universally the same thing, but we just kind of all go off on these different tangents, but we all have a baseline of where we are all even and we start, I believe. And that's what I've seen in my journeys and experiences and travels and meeting people. So I say all that to say this, which is gratitude has to be your new attitude.
Damn, dude.
Like, I'm serious though, because think about this. So I think that when it becomes, it's like, think about this. If the cashier, your mailman, your neighbor, your doctor, the people you interact, just people that see you and don't really know you, but you guys kind of know each other, but you guys don't really know each other. You guys just see each other. You don't really talk, You might not even know each other, but you know who each other is or are. I don't know the right way to say that, but you know who each other are. And what would the collective people's assessment be of you? Would they be like, oh, he's such a happy person? Oh, he's such a sad dude. Oh, like she's a bitch. She's so nice. She's an angel. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say different things. Like, oh, for me, my favorite compliment I've ever gotten, and it was weird because I had 3 ex-girlfriends say this in a row. We were just like chilling. And I've had other people say this to me in different ways too. And I'm not trying to talk myself up, but this is just what resonated with me. I'm like, whoa. Or so what happened was it was like, they'd be like looking into my soul and it would just be like super chill and then just be like, I don't even remember what the context was really, but it was like, damn, you're a star. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. You're just a star. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what that means, dude. Like, I'm not some sort of like famous-y sort of dude. I don't necessarily want to be famous. I just want to be able to help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to be the level of known that like, maybe like Ed Milet, David Meltzer, Bradley, Andy Frisella, like that level, where like the people who know who you are people that you've impacted their lives. Like, that's the type of person I aim to be. Like, I don't want to be known just to be known. I want to be known because I made a difference in your life and it was a lasting and memorable thing. So that's where I'm learning to talk more shit, right? So gratitude has kind of become my overall attitude. And it's funny, I didn't write that phrase down. It just kind of came, but so it kind of becomes my new attitude. So when I try anyway. So my point was like, when we're out and people are observing us, what did they take? Because the people who observe us are the ones that dictate our reality. Like, we don't know who we are unless we check in with other people. We have this idea of who we think we are, but we don't know unless we check in with other people. And there was a personal development course I did in Landmark, which I highly recommend everybody does. Landmark Worldwide. I don't get paid, no affiliation, none of that, but I highly recommend it. That shit is fucking gangster, dude. But there was one exercise in the self-expression leadership program. It's like one of the 3rd courses up you could do. And it was like one of the homework assignments was to go around and ask like at least like 5 people who are close to you or you interact with on a regular basis. And you ask them like basically who you are. Like, what can you count on me for? What can you never count on me for? I always forget the other 2 questions, damn it. I don't know. It's like, what can you trust me for and what can't you trust me for? It's something like that. But it basically had to do with, the questions kind of invoked, like, for me, what it pointed out was like where my words are bullshit versus where my words are truth, or where my words match my actions, I should say, versus me just talking shit. So I kind of got the outside perspective, and to me, I have a lot of like false ideas about myself, I guess, as I keep going and undigging, because it's like I've been oh, by the way, I'm down 24 pounds today, or yesterday, actually. I haven't checked today, but yesterday I was down 24 pounds from originally starting 75 hard, which is pretty cool. And but I identify with myself as like a healthy and fit person, because even when I'm fat, I'm still skateboarding, I'm still fucking surfing, I'm still biking, I'm still doing all this shit. I'm keeping up with my kids, but I realize a lot of it's just in my head. Like, not that I'm not doing it, but it's like I'm forcing my body. My body's not like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? I'm pretty good at being able to use my brain to override what my body is like, ooh, ouch, ooh, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna let like a pain stop myself. So, because we know, hold on, where do I want to go with this? You know, so damn, this like triggered so much for me. So let's do this. Okay. Sorry, I realized I didn't really finish that story. So when I asked the people around me, sorry guys, when I asked the people around me, this part wasn't in my notes, but it's a good tangent. When I asked the people around me these questions, and I basically, it gave me the reality of who I was, because I have this false idea of myself. That's where I was going with this. That, hey, I'm in shape, right? And I had the same thing with, hey, I'm a very disciplined person. Hey, I do what the fuck I say. Hey, I spit the truth, or what I fucking say is pretty fucking factual almost always, unless I'm joking, right? So, or unless I say, hey, this is just how I feel about it, you know, or this is just my opinion. I do my best to make that pretty clear. So, but what I learned was asking the people around me, hey, who the fuck am I, you know? They're like, bro, I see you. They're like, you know, I know I can count on you for this, that. I know I can count on you to be there. I know I can count on you to give me honest advice. I know I can count on you to tell me the truth. I know I can count on you to show up. I know I can count on you to show up like 30 minutes to an hour late. I know I can count on you to always have weed. I know I can count on you to always be down to do this or that. You know, all these things. And then it's like, and then I can also count on you to not take care of this. I know that you're going to be immature about this, or you don't take this seriously. And those things, I was like, oh, fuck. I remember when my cousin Howie told me, because Howie's a super disciplined person, and he told me, he's like, his word when he said I was lacking discipline was like, ouch to me, because it was exactly what I needed. You know what I mean? And at that point, I really, really was lacking discipline. Like, I was just wild. I was just smoking it was like at that point, I was selling a lot of weed, smoking even more. Well, not actually, but a lot, like a lot. And it was like 10, 15 blunts a day type of shit. And all these blunts are like a G or bigger. So I realized, I was like, yo, I couldn't learn the reality of myself without checking in with other people. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, whoa, that blew my fucking mind. So basically, how I'm tying this back is, if gratitude was my new attitude, is basically I was putting off an attitude and a show of, look, I'm cool, I'm this, I'm that, but you can't count on me for this, this, and this. So what I realized is like, holy shit, I'm grateful for now knowing that information where I'm lacking. So now gratitude can be the new thing that I'm expressing, because I want people to look at me and to be able to be like, damn, I see you're really grateful for this or that, or I'm grateful for you doing this or that, something of that sort. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be in that general context. That's something that I aim for or strive for. I think that's dope, So how did I start training myself to have gratitude as my new attitude? Was, for one, that level of self-awareness to where I got to understand everybody else's interpretation of me, which gave me a realistic interpretation of myself, because every person's thing is like a little bit different in what they see in you. But the beauty of it is there is a commonality in what each person sees in you, because every person can only see through what and how they think and view stuff. So, but the thing is if there's a commonality amongst all of them, it's like my best friend, my whoever, they're all telling me these things. And even people I don't know that well, and there's something that adds up. It's like there's a common baseline of, okay, this all adds up. And I could see where this is your experience, up, down. But like there's that middle ground where it all adds up, and it's like, oh, that's who the fuck I am. Like, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to. And I appreciate that shit, because the last time I talked to my homie Chode, what up, Chode? I fucking love you, dude. He just let me have it, dude. And in the most loving way, like, I'm so grateful. He's just like, bro, I see you going through this. He's like, I may be wrong, but just, I'm telling you this because I got your back and I love you, dude. So, and I was going through like a super low point and weird point, and he just like laced me up like, bro, this is what the fuck I see you're doing wrong. This is what I see you're doing right. Your shit's not all the way fucked, but this is fucked and that's fucked and this is good and that's good. So good job, man. But at the same time, think about this. And I'm like, oh, bro, I fucking love you, dude. Like, thank you so fucking much. Like, I'm like, bro, like, nobody sets me straight really anymore. I think a lot of people are afraid to, because I think it's kind of getting more and more evident that I'm not afraid to talk my shit. Or, I don't know. At the same time, dude, that's real fucking love. Like, that's the shit I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? So what I realized is like, okay, how can my new attitude and judgment of people and assessment of people about me be of gratitude? So I'm like, I just got to work on this. I'm not really worried about everybody else. There's no final outcome, but I'm just going to practice and make myself 1% better every single day. So with gratitude, what I did was in my phone, literally every single day of the year, every single day of the year, I don't know if you can see, I have in my calendar for the rest of my life, meditate and what are 3 things you're grateful for. There's an alarm every morning and every night that goes off. Now, I can't do it every single day because I try. Trust me, I try, but it's hard. I've been able to do it for a good while. And David Meltzer fucking told me, well, I took it as he told it to me. He might have told it to me personally. I don't know. But is that if you can practice what you're grateful for, at least 3 things every morning, every night, for at least like, 30 days or a month or 2 months or something, your life will change substantially. And mine has, because I was in my car being homeless, being grateful for the fact that I had a car. I was, you know what I'm saying? So I think when we go back and we visit our hardest struggles and we feel them, which is kind of part of the next question, we're able to relate to what that was like before. And because we've healed it, that doesn't pain us when the new trigger occurs. So I think that when we go back to the earliest point of feeling hurt, or when whatever type of pain happens, we heal it. We go back, we think about it, we sit with it, we let it go through our body. We recognize where the pain, where the anxiety, where the depression, where the sadness comes from. What does it physically feel like? Does your stomach tense up? Does your legs tense? Do your legs start shaking? Do your palms sweat? Do your head start getting woozy? Do you stop breathing? Do you start taking shallow breaths? All these things, right? So all of those things have to do with body awareness. How do you come off? How do you relate to yourself? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself? Our facial expressions show a lot. Our body language shows our body language says like 80% of what we already are really trying to say. That's why we could tell when people are lying or whatever. You just look at their body language and it's like, holy shit, like, this person's trying to do that, but it wasn't all the way. Or this person's trying to do that, but it wasn't all the way, like little things. And so because we know these low points come, when we go back and we've healed the earliest of these low points, when the new low points come, it's not as low as the original one. And it's been factually shown that we can go back, and if we visit our early memories and we go back to that memory with a positive intention and force and new recreation, we can recreate that event for us to where your parents abandoning you went from being like, why me? How can they do this to me? To like, wow, I really learned to be independent. I learned how to raise my kids to be amazing people. I learned how to fucking fight, fend, work for myself, be creative, chase my dreams, chase my goals with no motivation. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty crazy because like that's just fascinating, and so like I said, so as I'm saying is we can go back, put good memories in. So if every time we go back and visit the memory, but there's a good memory where now instead of being like, oh, I'm abandoned, I'm like, oh, now I'm grateful for the fact that I was taught to be independent and all of this, then we're able to move forward. So now every low point is not as new because you've healed that understanding of what it feels like to be at the bottom has now kind of flipped upside down. You've taken the cake out the pan, so to say, flipped it upside down, It's like now you can work with it. Now you can start putting the icing on it and start making it pretty, because before you're just some upside down ass cake. But now we flipped you out the thing and now you're ready to fucking, you're ready for your frosting, your icing, your fucking custom wording and your fucking all that cool shit, like. So I think ultimately the answer is self-awareness and having structure. Is it in your calendar? Are you doing daily things that reinforce that? Because we know that low points are going to come. But the thing is, how scary is a low point to you? A new low point is only truly terrifying if the old low point has not been healed. So,
damn, dude.
Crazy, right? Holy shit. So, oh, my voice just, puberty. Puberties. Life is like a box of we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
What's up, turkey neck? What the fuck? I'm just saying some weird ass shit. That's pretty funny. So let's just pick up. Excuse me. Just chugged my coffee. So the next part of this question ties into how we wrapped up that last part of the question. And this is cool because these go hand in hand. So I think, okay, let's just kind of recap real fast. So that original question was how to live with gratitude when times get hard in life. And if we know change is inevitable and consistent, how to practice being grateful at low points. So self-awareness, that's ultimately it. And I think every little piece that encompasses self-awareness, I think the easiest way to sum it up is keep stock and be very aware of what you do with your day and what you are out to accomplish with your day. I think that's ultimately the answer. Like every day, what are you actually doing? And don't worry about the next day. Don't worry about yesterday. If you're going to go back and worry about shit that you've been hurt with, then this is where we're going to get into it. It's like, okay, well, how do I go back and not just walk around with this worry? So the question is healing. How to make sure sorry, my writing was crazy. healing, how to make sure when trying to heal enough. Did I write this right? Healing, how to make sure when trying to heal enough to actually grow and learn. How to make sure when trying to heal enough to actually grow and learn versus letting it accumulate in unhealthy ways. Does that make sense? Did I feel like I missed some words. How to make sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, that does make sense. How to make sure when trying to heal enough to actually grow and learn. Let's address that first. How to make sure when trying to heal enough to actually grow and learn. All right. So, first of all, there's one major thing in that question that stands out to me first, and it's the word trying. And I think that's why I keep getting tripped up on the sentence, because I put a little asterisk next to it. So I think when it comes to healing, a lot of us think it kind of means it's this thing we have to do or try to do, or it's this destination, or it's this place we're going to get to. And I think the reality is healing is going and working fucking hard. That's what healing is as a human. Like when we choose to heal and to just, because like I said in the last one, it's like as humans, we can choose not to heal. And that's crazy. So when we choose to heal, it means not sitting at home and fucking eating ice cream and doing this. It means getting up, tying your fucking shoes, getting the fuck outside, go running, go hiking, go do some push-ups, go surfing, go skateboarding, do whatever the fuck you do. Go ride a horse, go fucking whatever it is your thing. Something that actually gets you outside though. Because you can only be doing outside what you actually love. You know what I'm saying? It's like without the elements of nature, you're kind of missing it. So when it comes to this, first, this whole idea of trying to heal, I think that for my self-awareness triggers when I hear, and I'm not trying to like be a dick or whatever, like I'm legit answering this question. I think this is very much part of the answer, is the awareness of what we're saying. And because if we are trying to heal versus I think the answer is to let go of trying to and just do the work. Because I think when we try, that implies there's a destination or an end point. And I think it's just a for everything. So I think that's the first part to acknowledge, is like, there's no try, there's just doing. It's either like we went outside and ran or we didn't. We went and grounded ourselves in nature or we didn't. We went and did X or we didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's number one. And that kind of ties to that first question where it's like, it's part of the self-awareness, right? And I realized I was caught in that loop for so long, and I still jump into it sometimes where it's like, I'm trying, and when I'm trying, I end up kind of going backwards and shit just stops working. And I'm like, I got to let go of the idea of trying and just do what I know makes me better in the moment, right? Go, shut up, go. I think that's a big part of it. So when we're on the path and journey of healing, like how do we actually like learn and grow from it versus just letting it accumulate in healthy ways? So to really answer part of that, this is also part of the question. Okay, so sorry, my notes are crazy. My handwriting is nuts today. So how to make sure when trying to heal enough to actually grow and learn versus letting it accumulate in unhealthy ways, like sitting in the uncomfy feelings, anxiety, and pain instead of carrying it around and continuing. Boom. That's dope as fuck.
Damn, dude.
Great insightful question, by the way. So this is something that I would do. I don't know if this works for everybody, and I don't know if it will. but I believe it's pretty damn universal because there's a lot of science that proves this. And I would, again, refer to the book Fearvana. That book is absolutely motherfucking amazing. It's by Ashke Nanavati, something like that. Mind-blowing book. Absolutely fucking mind-blowing. Highly recommend it. Anyway, this worked for me. What I did was I would, like how I was talking about earlier, when we go back and visit old memories and old trauma and leave a good, positive experience, like we heal that up. How? So this is what I would do, because I'm very, very logical and simplify. I'm not going to go try and take some drugs or some class or some this or that. Like, I'm not against shit like that, but it's like, I'm going to figure this out for reals for myself. So what I would do is I would set out a timer. First, it would be for like 30 seconds. And I would go back. So what I would deal with at first was I would visit. For me, the hardest things I dealt with coming up was deaths. And then certain feelings of neglect and stuff. So, or like not good enough. But the big things would be like, like my best friend's getting murdered, or my little sister and my grandma dying, or, my second mom passing away, different things like that. It would hurt so bad. Or like my old relationships. Like if I would think about it, it would just drive me into this crazy depression hole, and I would be stuck on it all fucking day, to where I would just go drive in my truck and just go park somewhere and just sit there and smoke weed and just think for like 8 to 12 hours. Like, I'm not even kidding, dude. I would just sit there and just think and think and think. And it's like, what was I even thinking of? I was just thinking of every possibility. I was thinking of every why me. I was thinking of every I should kill myself. I was thinking of every no, I shouldn't. I was thinking of every like if any motherfucker tests me right now, ooh, I will whoop. Like, I dare any motherfucker cross me right now. Like, I would go through that. I would go through like just desperation, fucking everything, dude. It was bad. So I'm like, okay, I understand this is very dangerous waters for me to go jump in, especially on purpose. So what I would do is I would set an alarm for 30 seconds, and I would sit there and I'll close my eyes and I'll be like, I'm going to dive as deep into these thoughts as I can. But what I would do is I would make sure I was feeling good and I was positive, and I'm like, all right, I'm chilling right now. I'm in a good place. And when this alarm goes off, I'm coming right back to here again. So that was my intention. So I'd set the alarm, I'd sit there, and I would just let myself feel everything that could go on about it. I would try and point to like the most painful parts of the story and the pain and the confusion, and I would direct all my intention at it and just feel it. And I would start noticing that like my shoulders would tense. For me, my eyebrows is like a big, or like my in between my eyebrows and forehead's a big thing, tells a lot for me. I think my shoulders kind of tense, my stomach super duper tenses, my breath starts going off. And then my brain starts doing this dizzy thing, and so kind of what I realize is like holding your breath or not taking deep breaths or taking shallow breaths is going to cause your brain to get less oxygen and going to cause more confusion and make shit harder. And that's basically what's going on. And the harder it is, the less I'm interpreting and the more I'm panicking and the more I'm freaking out. So I would just be like, all right, I'm going to sit here for this. And then the alarm goes off. And I'm like, I open my eyes. As soon as you open your eyes and that alarm brought you back, it's almost like somebody just like I don't know, like the visual that comes up for me is like if you jumped off a bridge into the water, where it was safe to do so, and instead of you having to like climb up the land and walk back up the bridge to jump again, somebody just like lured a line with a basket and just picked you back up and brought you back to the top. Like, that's what it feels like, or it was like you go down a roller coaster and then you don't have to wait in line again. They just put you right back at the top again. Like, that's kind of how it would feel, So as soon as I open my eyes, I'm like back on top of the roller coaster. I'm back where I started. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, wow. I wasn't, But what I would do is try and also, before I would come back, well, that was how I started. And then I would go longer and longer. Then it'd be like a minute, then 5 minutes. And then I started being able to do it for pretty much indefinitely. Like, I can talk about it any time with anybody and be really open and honest about it. And it doesn't necessarily break me down, but like in certain circumstances it can and will. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So I would then, once I started getting kind of, what should I say? Once I started like getting more familiar with the physical feelings of it, that would start making more sense of the emotional feelings about it. And once those things kind of started like evening out, it was like, oh, I started to see things. I started to see what was black, what was white, and what was gray. And it's like, oh, before I was just in this like, it's either black or white or gray. I can't tell, and I'm going back and forth and back and forth. But then, rather than being like in the white, black, gray, I stepped out and I'm looking at the whole chart and I'm like, oh, I see the whole thing now. So what I started doing was being like, all right, I'm going to go back and be like, you know what? You are loved. And I'm going to put a memory of when a time that I felt so loved. I'm going to put a piece of that into the memory of it hurt so bad. So for example, when my second mom died, Dorothy, rest in peace, Dorothy. When she died, me and my friends were 15, and I remember me, Puff, and Pews were just sitting in my living room. We were all just sitting on different parts of the floor. It was weird. It was like 2 a.m, and we're just all just sitting there just crying and distraught, and like, it was weird. Nobody was saying anything. We're all just like laid out on the floor because technically it's Puff's grandma, but that's his mom. It is his mom. She was our mom. It was like she used to give me spankings too. I used to get my ear dragged and and all that. And I remember I was just crying and crying and crying. But I remember at one point I looked up and I looked at my friends. I looked at Pews and I looked at Puff. Rest in peace, Pews. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, these people, we are really fucking love each other. We really fucking care for each other. So what I could do is, a lot of times when I would think about the memory of Dorothy passing, I would think my brain would automatically go to how much it hurt right before I looked up and saw my friends. Like, I remember walking across the street after we saw her. You know, we saw her passed away in her bed, and because Puff lived across the street from me, so I remember walking back across the street just like empty and crying and hollow and just like devastated, and then walking back into my house and just sitting on the floor leaning against the back of a recliner, and we're all, like I said, we're all sitting in weird places around the floor around the house, and it was like, that's what my brain would go to, because that was the most painful moment of the entire thing for me, I think. And it was right after that was this like, wow, we're all in this together, man. It's like my pain's no greater or worse than theirs, you know? It's like we're all in this together, man. Like, holy fuck, this all hurts us and affects us in major ways, you know? We're 15 years old. So what I would do is I would go back and I would implant that memory into that whole event. I would go back and consciously be like, Calvin, look at this. Look at this part of it. Look at this part of it. Look at this part of it. And then boom, the alarm goes off and I come back. So what started happening was like, it would take me a while to implant that positive message, but I started being able to. So what started happening was when I look back at Dorothy's passing, man, me and my homies had each other's backs. That's the new story. It's still true. It doesn't take away from the original story, which was, man, my second mom passed away. That was like, we were felt like we wanted to die. I felt like the world was over. That's a different story. So if those two options can be my baseline of what happened, holy shit, right?
Damn, dude.
So we have the ability to go back and kind of rewrite that baseline story. I keep using that word a lot, but that's good, right? Like, so when we go back and we visit and we welcome anxiety and we welcome fear and we welcome pain and we go back to it on purpose with a motherfucking shovel and some fucking gold, and we're gonna go bury some gold in there, and we're bringing the shovel back because we don't even need to dig it up. We're just gonna leave the gold there, and then we're gonna move forward, and that gold will just keep appreciating. But it's mental gold, right? It's like this is cool. I never thought about this. Like we're mental mining. It's like we're mining and we're putting that gold in there. And to me, I think that is healing. So when the more frequently and more often that we go back and we visit the pain and we visit it and we re-see it and we re-feel it and we keep leaving, we revisit it enough to feel all the pain from it, enough to where we can go back and feel comfortable enough to go back and leave little gems behind. It's almost like if you have somebody who who's passed away, and the more you go back to the gravesite, the less it's like, oh, painful. You still feel it, but it's like it's not the same as intensity as the first time. But you go back, you leave a flower, there's new babies born who came to visit and all this, and you start having better and better memories of the cemetery. You start having better memories of these things that it felt like death or whatever, right? Like to me, when I go back and I visit my homie Pablo's grave, like we had so many fucking like parties and cool incidents. And there was one moment where his nephew, I forget if it was Knifer or Slicer. Shout out Knifer and Slicer if you guys ever listen to the show. Fucking love you guys. Those are my little nephews. I picked those names for them before they were even born. But Jackson and Steven, I fucking love you guys. I forget which one of them it was, but we were kicking it there. And this is down at Greenwood Cemetery, down south, down in Southeast, right off Imperial. And there's this dude in this fucking gangster ass SA full in his lowrider, and he's rolling a blunt. His car's jacked up all sideways and shit, and like he's kicking it there, rolling a blunt, bumping some gangster ass music. Like this fool, this is like back in the day too, and this fool already had head tats and hand tats, like way before you would ever like normally see that. And fucking one of them runs up and opens the door on the most gangster dude ever rolling a blunt. And this guy can't really has no idea who's opening the door, because at the time I forget if it was Knife or Slicer, but they were shorter than the door frames. So it's just the door pops up and he like freaks out. And like, we're like, holy shit, like, cause he just ran over there so fast. And I remember just tripping. I ran up as fast as I could. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, bro. Like, my bad. I mean, like, like, fuck. Like, we got so lucky he didn't spill all his weed and pull out a gun or some shit, right? Or pull out a knife. That's kind of more on brand for an essay, but we were like, yo! But the dude in the car just started busting up laughing. He's like, homie, I never had nothing like this happen to me. He's like, bro, no grown man would have the balls to do that type of shit. I was like, I know. So we're dying laughing, but like the magic of that and why I bring that up is because it's like, that is a story that is now written in the heartbreak of going to the cemetery and visiting my friend, right?
Damn, dude.
So we can do this with embarrassing moments in school, with moments of neglect from our parents, with times we've been abused physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever, right? Like, so I think that is a good way, as well as having conversations about things, because when we talk about our actual feelings and our point of view about things, oftentimes it takes one person being like, wait, what do you mean by that? And then you start explaining and you start dissecting and you're like, oh, I don't know what the fuck I meant by that. I was all full of shit. Like that happens so easily. And I know when I talk to a lot of my homies and I talk to a lot of people who ask good questions and are like up to cool shit, it's always like I get some cool, insightful, like, oh, and it's just so simple from them asking about the way I worded something. Oh, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, oh, like for example, how I picked out the word trying in that sentence. Like, I love when people pick that shit out. If people aren't up to healing and growing, then it's very annoying. I get it. So I try not to do that with everybody, but I love that when people do that to me. Wait, what do you mean? But why'd you say trying? What do you mean? What do you mean? Because blah, blah, blah. You know, I love that. I love that. Because that stuff really fucking matters. And I catch myself, I try to be aware of all the words I use, because if you think about it, and I've said this before in old episodes, but we have no fucking clue what we're talking about. What does the word about mean? Actually, what's the definition of the word about? I don't fucking know. We kind of got the gist of it though, right? Like, we know what I'm talking about. Like, but what does that mean? What does that actually mean? What does the word the mean? What does the word mean actually mean? You know what I'm saying? So because of this, I do my best to not use words that are beyond me. And for me, that's a big level of self-awareness that I have to practice my healing and not letting shit accumulate. Because a lot of times it's in our words. Oh, fuck the fair. I'm never going again. They were an asshole. No, one guy was rude to you because you were rude to him. That's usually the reality of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why this whole self-awareness thing is the motherfucking answer. And going back and visiting them, setting alarms and going back and leaving good things. I would also recommend everybody go read the book Fearvana. Whether you audiobook it, get the real fucking thing. That is one of the craziest books ever. Like, it is just absolutely sick with it. By, I want to believe is how to pronounce his name is Ashke Nanavati. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But it's like kind of like a gray cover. That book, bruh, crazy. Man, woman, wherever the fuck you're at in life, that book will blow your mind. It's easy to read too, which is important because that shit's hard for me. Anyway, this has been a bit of a long episode, but I hope you guys really do have a great holiday that's filled with actual appreciation and gratitude. And I think how to practice and upkeep gratitude is set daily reminders. Make sure that you understand it's never a final goal or destination. It's something that's a forever practice every day, like brushing your teeth or changing your socks. Like, you've got to do that shit every day. And it's more important. It's like drinking water. It's as important as drinking water every day. Like, it's not smart to not drink water every day. It's not smart to not practice gratitude every day. So, you know what I mean? Whatever ways you could do that, showing gratitude is get outside and show your body physical love. Show it love. You know, that sounded kind of funny, but wait, shit, that too. Go have fun. Do whatever the fuck you want, but go wash your hands. No, but do something that honors yourself, that you love, that's outside and fun and outside and fun and outside and fun. Put yourself somewhere new. Put yourself somewhere scary. Put yourself somewhere uncomfortable on purpose. Shop at a new grocery store. Take a different route home. Go to a different fucking town to buy your stuff, to do your activities. Buy your fucking Christmas tree somewhere else. Go somewhere different. You know what I'm saying? Just because it'll change your perspective. It'll change your gratitude, and it helps. Be like, wow, I really appreciate this. Or damn, I appreciate that we drove the fuck out here. Whatever the fuck it is, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's a really instrumental tool for us and gratitude. So hope you guys like the show. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you'd like me to go over, please DM us at Damn Dude Podcast on Instagram. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be safe out there this holiday weekend. People are crazy as fuck. I think I'm gonna go run, smoke some weed, go surf, read a book, maybe go skate park. And I want to eat some fucking curry again, dude. I hope some spots are open. If not, I'll make my own food. It's all good in the hood. And yeah, much love, everybody. Leave us a 5-star written review anywhere you can. Rooster Tail, take us out. Much love. Peace.
90 miles push away, and I wanna be here for days. And we'll surf like 38. Now the sun touches your face. Not the beach, not the ooh. And I just wanna be us too. And it's gonna be me and you.